Funky. Hip hop.
All right, y'all, here we are. This is our take, and we're right back at it. Yes. So, just want to let you know, this is a different kind of show. You're tuning in for the first time, or if you're one of our followers. We do get into some heated debates here. We yell, we scream, but at the end of the day, we respect one another's opinion. So, just want to let you know that. So, tonight's topic, what we're going to hit on is the Boogie going to Golden State.
I don't respect your opinion.
Yeah. I don't respect Leaf's opinion at all.
Leaf.
At all.
Yo, shout to Leaf, man. Shout to Leaf.
Shout out to Leaf.
So, Boogie going to Golden State. Do you think Boogie is going to fit in with the Golden State Warriors? What's your take?
Yeah, I think he's going to fit in. When he plays, obviously. They're talking about he may not play until December. There's some sources that say we're looking forward to having him in the playoffs. I don't know where that's coming from. But obviously, the longer he sits out, the longer I think it's going to take for him to gel. But I think he'll fit in. I mean, if you plug him in with somebody that they had starting like JaVale McGee, or a Zaza Pachulia, I mean, that's a complete upgrade. The question is he going to play within the system? Is he, going to mess the system up? I don't think so. I think Steve Kerr is smart enough to kind of, fit him in. I think they're going to be fine, man. I think it's one more guy to guard. That's what I really think it is. That makes him dangerous, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Boogie's going to fit in just fine. We're talking about a big man, 25 and 12, obviously before the injury, 5 assists a game, so you can clearly pass the ball. And I think you can rehab your image and rehab the way that you play or the perception of you around the league by going to a team like this and just kind of fitting in and being a good soldier. I think they have a strong enough core to control somebody like Boogie. They already got a spark plug in Draymond Green, and I think he'll reel Boogie in. Like, all right, you got to get it under control a little bit. We already got one of us. We can't have two of us wilding out here. So I think he's actually like a perfect fit for that team. Like Avery said, it's another person that you have to guard. And they already have shooters everywhere. Now with a big that can shoot, that can take people off the dribble, who can actually go down in the post. I just think it's going to be a problem. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the injury, but if Boogie's 75, 80% of the play that he was prior to that, it's going to be a problem.
Well, let me just touch on this, because I think the real undertone question is we think Boogie's going to fit on a court, but it's all of those other dynamics that he brings to the table, obviously.
Because I would say with New Orleans, with the Pelicans, he wasn't a locker room cancer. He didn't get in any trouble.
Leaf was saying something, though, about that they didn't want him back.
Again, those are the sources and things like that. I don't know. But we didn't hear of anything directly coming out of there whereas he acted up, as far as we know. But I'm going to go another way with it. And let me interject this, because you brought up two names. You brought up Zaza and you brought up JaVale. And if you notice something, and no, it's not that, which if you notice something, when the Warriors go small, those guys' minutes go very much down because they come off the floor. Now, does that happen with Boogie? And another part is Boogie going to be okay with that when he's in right now a 1-year deal trying to fight for next year getting a big payday? Is he going to be able to show enough?
Well,
a sample size.
Let me say this. Boogie has shown that he can play that stretch game, though. So I think that's why I said them implementing him in the offense is not going to be as.
But the Hampton Five, you need certain players on the floor to run your best lineup, and that doesn't include.
But here's the deal.
Boogie.
Let's think about.
You don't know it doesn't include Boogie.
You don't know, but let's think about the long-term effects. First of all, he's going to be on a minute restriction. That's first and foremost. He's coming off an injury. I can't see them putting him out there for 40 minutes a night, even come playoffs.
Right.
If Boogie gives you a good 25, 30 minutes, if he gives you that, I think you got a solid pickup for $5.3 million.
No, but listen what I just said, though. And you're spot on with that. The problem is, and I'm going to bring it up again, he's going for a max deal after this year. Is he going to be able to show enough? In getting himself enough points, enough rebounds, enough things is going to happen for him to garner a big payday the following year.
And that was my point in the last segment where we talked about him. I don't necessarily think it's so much that Boogie has to show out, more so than he has to prove that he's healthy. Because we already know what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what he's capable of. He's just got to make sure he can get through a season, and he's capable of getting through a season. We trust him. All right, he's good to go. Let's give him that money. That's where I think his contract situation is at this point.
But right now, like you said, mentality is there. See, now we go into that aspect of a guy that's been on one or two centerpiece of a team, now having to go to the number 5 role.
Right.
How do Boogie adjust to that?
I don't really think that's a problem when you're talking about a team like Golden State, and I kind of feel like I want to think Boogie's humbled himself a little bit just off the fact that he had to take. I'm just assuming, he has to take a $5.3 million deal.
I would definitely want to say yeah, but the fact of the knee-jerk reaction of jumping at a $5.3 million deal, I don't know how humble you are.
We keep going back to that point.
No.
What I'm trying to tell you,
countering what you said.
I understand what you're saying, but like we talked about previous, 2 days in free agency is a long time. But we're not. I just feel like fitting in with this team. When I've seen them play, they seem to be an unselfish bunch. They don't seem to be a team that's really concerned with who's the alpha dog, who's taking over, who's doing this.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they're the team. They're really one of those teams that you look at and say, look, Boogie's cooking, feed Boogie. You know what I mean? KD's cooking tonight, feed KD. Right. Well, it all remains to be seen because really Boogie's a wild card. You never know exactly what he's going to give you in terms of his attitude on the court. But like I said, I think you've kind of seen this before. When people get into winning situations, they kind of fall into place. Right. You saw this with Rodman. Well, Rodman was the wild child of the NBA for a long time. He got to San Antonio, changed up his mentality. He went when Jordan and them. You didn't hear about him as much. He had his outbursts here and there, but for the majority of the time, he was just a good soldier.
He changed his whole image.
He still had the wild hair and all that, but he was still a guy that went out there and did his job.
We didn't have to go back that far. The one kudos that I would say is a person like Nick Young. Mm-hmm. Nick Young was a firecracker, a hothead kid that went to Golden State, and you ain't seen none of that out of him.
A hothead as much as just like somebody who wasn't engaged and focused. I think there's a difference between what you're talking about with Nick Young and Boogie.
But there was no issues out of Nick Young over there. So it's very possible that Boogie could go there. But the only difference is what I'm saying is that it's a difference when you know you're playing for a contract.
I agree, but like what Avery said, you know what Boogie is. And if he goes out there and shows he's healthy, and if you're a team that wants to take a chance with him, I'm like, okay, he looked good at 30 minutes a night. We can bring him in for a workout and see exactly where he is. You know what I mean?
But let me ask the question. Is a 9.5 rebound, 2 assist Boogie healthy? Because, again, you can't expect to see the numbers that he was putting up for the Pelicans.
But yeah, of course, and I think anybody who's
health and productivity goes hand in hand.
I understand what you're saying, but I also think that you're going to look at that and say he's on a team where he was the man, and now he's a team where he's a cog in the wheel, and you're going to see a different production, and you kind of understand what that is.
But do you really give him a boatload of money?
Now, okay, so I think that's what I said. What we're going to is, God shows he's healthy. We know what he can do. Misses pretty much, an entire season of full productivity, right? Because he's coming off an injury.
We're not a plus. He got hurt about halfway through the season.
He got hurt in January, if I got it right, right? So now he's going to miss half of that season. Probably half of this season, right?
So that's a season.
He comes back.
Season plus.
He puts up 10 points a game. You know what I'm saying? 12 points a game. Just hypothetically, he puts up 12 and 7 a night. Do you give a guy like that max money? That's a good question. That's a great question. That's what I think we're alluding to.
That's what I'm saying to you because if you don't ball out, then it's going to be the question is, how much is it the injury or how much is it system?
But a lot of people got paid. A lot of guys have been paid based off of previous seasons as opposed to that particular.
But not in this kind of situation though, because again, had he went to a different team, follow me, whereas he comes back. Let's just say, let me throw a team out there. He comes back to the Bulls, and now. You are able to see what Boogie is because he's more of the focal point of the offense, the focal point of the defense. You will get a huge sample size of what he is. On the Warriors, you're not really going to get a big sample size of him based on the Warriors system, based on he's the fifth man. Follow me? So
It could be.
So do you throw max money, $40 million out there to a guy that might not put those numbers up again?
I don't think 40 million. I don't know if you give him that.
Well, that's
much.
a max deal.
I understand.
And
maybe he
That's
gets a little bit
max
less than
money.
that.
Let's
But
say 30 million. Okay, let's say 30.
That's still
Whatever the
that's still
number
a
is.
healthy chunk of change.
you know what I think about this Warriors team? Why I say these guys are unselfish, I kind of think they've reached a point where the regular season is not necessarily challenging for them anymore.
Of course.
Right?
I agree with you.
And I think you saw this with Steph take a step back when KD joined the team. Let him lead. I don't think this team will have a problem. Like, we know what this man is going after. Let's help him out. Let's get him the ball. Let's run sets to get him the ball.
But let me say this, though. I don't know. I can't really 100% go with the regular season doesn't count because of this right here. The Warriors, once again, got by on a player getting injured. Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets had home court advantage. They was up in that series at the point of Chris Paul. Now, had Golden State had home court advantage, follow me, it could have been a different story. So you can't just wipe out the regular season just like that.
I'm not wiping it. I'm not wiping it out as much as the fact that I think that they're just not as engaged in the regular season. They know when they have to turn everything on.
Yeah, I just got to counter that. I know everybody says, Chris Paul, obviously he got hurt. But everybody really discounts Andre Iguodala, like not being there as if he doesn't mean something. He's their best defensive player.
Yeah.
Didn't play the majority. He wasn't even himself.
Once again, they didn't have home court advantage. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. So that fact is there. They didn't have home court advantage. So I'm saying again, they let Houston take the number one spot. Houston had home court advantage. So I'm saying to you, can the Warriors truly discount the regular season? Are they that much of a juggernaut
I think
that
so.
they don't have to worry about it?
I think so. I think as long as they finish top three, top two.
Yeah, I think they feel like we've seen this in both conferences. We've seen Cleveland kind of fall off, and like, as long as we get in them top four spots, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna make it.
Definitely did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not worried
But
about
the
any of these
East
guys.
isn't the West, though.
Absolutely, and
There's a difference, though.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
I think these guys,
because Boston wish that they had home. Well, no, they did have home court advantage and it didn't help them none.
I think these guys, they're playing for narratives now because they've done the unbelievable season, breaking the record. Obviously, they didn't win a chip. They won 3 chips as a collective now. 2 for KD. So I think the luster's off. So I think like if they have something motivating them, whether it be like we're gonna get Boogie a ring, or we're gonna help Boogie show out so he can get his max deal and get him a ring. That'll be their motivating factor. So I think they're gonna try to do things to make Boogie shine, to make Boogie look really, really good out there. So I think that's what you're gonna see from them. There's gonna be a team that's gonna be playing to help someone out. So that might be their motivator.
Listen, ultimately, the West got better. Clearly, the West got better. I think the West is going to be more competitive just with the addition of LeBron, obviously. But I still think it's Golden State and everybody else until somebody else proves me wrong.
Well, like I said, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm going to ask the question, will anybody at the table go out on a limb and say Boogie gets a max deal next year?
Hell no, I'm not going to do that. Because, we don't even know if he re-injures that thing. I don't know, man.
I want to correct something because last week, everybody was just like, we've never seen this injury and stuff like that. What was happening was I thought we were talking about an ACL. I didn't realize we were talking about an Achilles. I was like, what? Like, why is everybody tripping? This is an ACL. Like, this happens all the time. Like, why is everybody like, Boogie's not going to be the same? I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say that. I think he will get, at the very least, probably $20 million a year because I think even that's flyer money in the NBA at this point.
But what was interesting, you just throw this out there. Clint Capella turned down 85 for 5.
From who? From Houston?
85 for 5.
What's that? 16, 17, 18, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Clint Capella turned that down. So when you look at
it's
a
almost
Boogie,
$18 million a year.
So when you look at a Boogie and say, if you throw 20 mil at him, he might not jump at that.
I agree because Boogie knows exactly. I'm 10 times better than Clint Capella.
Clint Capella's bugging. But I'm
sitting here saying, Yo, listen, let me say it again, man. It's going to be interesting to watch this upcoming basketball season once again.
Always.
That's the fun part.
And we're gonna get them there to it. We're gonna be the bridge, right?
We're going to be the bridge. To the bridge. Yo, listen, thank you once again. This is Our Take. Thank you for tuning in. What's yours?
Peace.
Peace.
Later.